I think at this point, I want to make sure we get to other people's topics. And so, thank you for a great discussion on mine. And now, let's just go kind of one at a time. Maybe do about 10 minutes-ish on each of the different things that, the different assignments. So lecture 4 was the one called Law.
Oh, I thought that's what we were talking about. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just talking about a general question. I like to start us off because Audrey said when you lead the discussion, you should start it off and end it. And so then I'm trying to do it just how Audrey says.
Awesome.
So that was and that you take from wherever you want kind of idea to just get the ball rolling, which is not hard with us.
Yeah.
So, did anyone else, and as we discussed, especially if you found any principles that you took note of, let's add them to our list. So, from lecture 4, the law, did anyone have anything that they wanted to bring up? Do you want to?
Go ahead.
I already said quite a bit that she said, and the 3 kinds of law, any right that I inherently have, I can assign to the government, but nothing more. I did find it interesting that she said there's 2, or who was it that said there are 2 laws that if any society would live by, regardless of religion or anything else, it would lead to liberty.
I think it was Mayberry, wasn't it? Richard
Yes,
Mayberry that
I
she was
think
quoting.
so. And I left my notes. But the first one is do what you say you're going to do. And the second one was do not encroach on anyone else's property. Those are the only 2 laws.
Be honest and love your neighbor, in other words.
Yes.
Do what you say you're gonna
Do what you say you're going to
do.
do.
You mean like protect the border? Or...
Stuff.
I thought it was interesting that I just wrote down the quote that she had along with that. It says, experience shows that where these laws are widely obeyed by everyone, including the government, the result is liberty, free market, and rapid economic growth. Investment opportunities abound. Where these laws are not obeyed, especially by governments, liberty is not an option. Only tyranny or chaos and failures of every kind.
And that is what I see moving toward here. I seriously, sorry, I need to sit.
Did you guys have a chance to go to that celebration of marriage?
We were going to go to it,
We
but
were
ended
on
up
the
it was-
way.
Oh.
We were supposed to be there,
Oh.
but we couldn't. It was,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am
one
really
too many
sorry.
things.
Yeah.
Well, David Barton went over that.
Were you
He
there
talked
last
about.
night?
Hmm?
Were you there last night then?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, it was so good. Long, but really good.
That's why we didn't go.
Yes.
We couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, he didn't even start speaking till 10 o'clock. It was
No kidding.
crazy long. But he went over why marriage is such a fundamental thing, why it's so important, and that's one of them. If they can, if they can tell us what to do about marriage, then everything goes right down the list. You no longer have religious liberties. You no longer have freedom of speech. You no longer have. Once they can make one decision like that, and so liberty isn't an option. If they can make a decision and force that one, then they can force all the others because they can connect it to that one.
So I think then my question from
Which is
Mayberry
this
would be,
scary-
can you say any law that's taking away liberty, you can point it back to one of Mayberry's 2 laws. Do all you have agreed to do and do not encroach on other persons or their property. And say, the reason this is not leading to liberty is it's not working with
Encroaching
one
on
of those
other
2.
people, it's
Right.
property.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he also presented empirical evidence from 13 countries that have same-sex marriage on a national level. He said they've been doing this for long enough that we have all of
Data.
this data
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that shows economies crumble. Crime flourishes. I mean, all of it. He had numbers, and I was just writing as fast as I could because he really did give a 90-minute presentation in 30 minutes. But it does. It ruins not only our liberties but our prosperity.
So why is our nation doing it?
Well, for that reason.
They have
That is the goal. To
Crumble.
Well, not only, yeah, on a general scale to crumble the economy, absolutely. But,
To put us in
Control.
subjugation.
yeah,
To
they
take our
don't want
spirit
us to have
away.
religious choices. They don't want us to be able to say what we want. Yeah, it's control. Nothing is about regulation, it's all about control.
Yeah.
And Amelia spoke again, and she was fabulous.
Yeah, I read in the
So
article
good.
that she was spoken.
She gave a response.
And she is articulate.
Really?
Because she, you know, because I remember you telling me the gay community that was there had nothing to say to her when
That's
she
right.
finished. They evidently shredded her on Twitter and Facebook and everything the next day. They just took her to task. So she took the opportunity last night to respond
Awesome.
to their hatred. And she did a fabulous job. She is a
We were happy to
really
hear,
good young woman.
yes, outstanding, you know, about a mission ahead of her. We were relieved to hear the venue that they were going to hold that at last night, because had they held it at a public location like they did the first time, it could have been really, really ugly.
Did you watch the news?
No.
I wasn't home, obviously, in time to watch the news, but they had their 10 little people with picket signs outside
Yeah.
the door where everybody was going in.
Mm.
The great thing was they had it on one end of the expo center so that those front doors are about, what,